One of the biggest problems players have when they serve is getting the toss right, and you might be one of those players. So I thought I'd do a lesson today to break down the serve toss and give you some valuable tips that are going to make a huge difference. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, one of the leading online tennis instruction websites in the world. We create premium content and, of course, free content on YouTube to help players all over the world. This is what we're passionate about, moving the needle forward, helping players get to the next level. And when it comes to the serve, I've been called by a few or a lot of people the serve surgeon because I like to get in with my scalpel and help players get to the next level with their serves. We're going to talk about the toss today. The serve toss that just drives so many players crazy. Now, there's a couple things I want to point out before I get into some specific tips that can help you. Number one, when players tell me that their toss is all over the place and they're struggling with their toss, I try to fix it without fixing their toss. Yes, I come from a different angle. I try to make sure that a player improves their technique first. So a lot of times the players are chasing their toss because their technique isn't right or their rhythm isn't right. So if I can improve someone's first move in their trophy position, if I can get them to load properly, we can get the toss to happen later. Players are chasing this elusive toss thing, but their motion isn't even good to begin with. So just keep that in mind. You can improve your motion and that will improve your toss. You can also improve how you land. So if you land in a different spot every time, you're going to be chasing the toss. So if you land in the same spot every time, okay, you're going to struggle with getting that toss in the right place. So if you land in the same spot every time, you can actually develop a more consistent toss. Now, let's get into the toss right now. And I've got a friend of mine who is an up-and-coming coach, wants to coach a lot more on the tour, will be coaching more on the tour. His name is Chris Triziano. I hope I didn't butcher your last name, Chris. But Chris has a great video out there. I saw it on Instagram one time where he talked about calling the toss a release. So I'm not gonna claim that I came up with this one. I've always been calling it a toss, but he calls it a release. And I like that term because you're essentially releasing the ball. You're not tossing the ball. You know, I think of tossing of like tossing the ball really fast, or even tossing it overhead or underhand, whatever. It just feels like maybe things can get going too fast if you say the word toss. So I like the idea of release, and I'll take it a step further. I'll call it a slow release, like a slow time-released vitamin B supplement, right? It takes time to get into the bloodstream. We want to take our time tossing the ball. A lot of players really rush their toss. They toss so fast and it just goes wayward. It goes all over the place. Gosh, I think I'm talking really fast right now, but clearly I'm passionate and I want to help you get to the next level. So I just get going, okay? So the slow release, you want to feel like you're releasing the arm, okay? You're releasing the ball, I should say. You're releasing the ball, okay? It's a slow release. Now, let's take it a step further. When you toss the ball, you want to make sure that your arm stays relatively straight. Yes, it's not going to be totally locked out, but it should be straight, maybe a slight bend in the elbow. And you want to feel like when you're releasing the ball, you're releasing it because your shoulder is moving, not because you're moving your arm fast or you're flicking your wrist or you're flicking your lower arm like this. See a lot of players doing this stuff. You've got to keep your arm straight throughout when you release or when you toss the ball. So get that arm straight. Okay, keep that arm straight. Next, what the heck do you do with the ball in the palm of your hand? I see so many players tossing it with the ball in the palm of their hand. Let's get this tennis ball in the fingertips. Okay, let's get it in the fingertips, and I like to have all the fingers touching, including the pinky, touching the ball. And this is the flower blossom tip right here. The flower blossom tip. Why? Because it's like a flower is blossoming when you open up your fingers. Okay, that blossom, it's just blossoming for springtime, all right? You're opening up the fingers. You're not tossing and then keeping your fingers really close together. I want you to open up your fingers like a flower blooming, okay? blooming flower right there, the flower blooming tip, the blooming flower tip, all right? You're gonna open your fingers like that, okay? Now, why is that important? I feel it gives you more feel to have it in your fingertips instead of in the palm. There's more dexterity and feel in the fingertips. Also, you want to pay attention that when you do this, can you toss the ball without any spin? Can you essentially make the ball become a knuckleball? In other words, no spin on the ball as it's released. Can you do that? Practice that even without hitting the serve. See if you can toss it with little to no spin when you toss the ball. Next, no more J tosses, okay? This is an old school way of serving where at the beginning of the motion, you turn and you do what's called a J toss, where you bring the tossing arm back like this, and then you come back around like this. It's called a J toss. I believe this is gonna throw a lot of motions off. So what I like to have players do, and this is tough for a lot of players because if you don't turn, you're just gonna toss it out straight in front of you. If you do turn your body, you might bring this tossing arm back like this, too far in that J toss. So what I like to see happen is when you start to turn like this, now the tossing arm is gonna stop right here. I like it to stop right at the front quad here. It can go a little bit to the inside, but I like to have it stop right in line with the quad. And then it's gonna go out at a 45-degree angle towards the net post. Okay, a 45-degree angle to the net post. It's not going to come back like this. It's going to come down. In my case, I keep it right here and I just go up because it's hard for me to go down and then find it. It's just that rhythm doesn't work for me. So I'm in this position. I'll hit a serve right now. Watch my tossing arm. Okay, I just keep it right here in line with my quad and I toss it. My tossing arm goes up towards the net post at a 45-degree angle. That feels really good to me. If I'm going to hit a kick serve, the tossing arm might come this way a little bit, but it's certainly not going to J back in this direction. So that is a huge focus, is to avoid the J toss. And my final tip of the day to help you with your toss, your serve toss, is when you toss the ball, you want to make sure that you keep those fingers spread, and then notice where the palm of my hand is as I toss the ball. It starts with the palm up. I toss the ball, it's still up, and when I get to the highest point with my tossing arm, the palm is facing towards the back fence. I don't want this. This is going to restrict my ability to get my arm up higher and extend up to the ball. So when I toss the ball with my palm up like this, then I'm going to turn my palm so it faces towards the side fence. So it's palm up, and then it turns towards the side fence. You can practice this all day long. It's a rotation of the shoulder. It looks a lot easier than it is. A lot of players have limitations in their lat. They're tight in here, they're tight in their shoulder, so they're just gonna toss the ball and keep their arm bent. We want that arm straight, as I alluded to before, and we want the palm facing towards the side fence. That's gonna help with extension. That's going to help you get up to the serve better. So this is something that I could do a better job of sooner in my motion. In the past, when I've watched videos, I still am in this position a little too much. I need to spin that tossing arm a little bit more. So watch. Do you see how I turned and I got the palm of my hand towards the side fence like that? That's a huge tip to help you with your extension. Just make sure you don't turn it too much and go towards the net. That's going to cause you to open up if the palm is facing the net too early. You essentially want to toss the ball, make sure it turns up here, and then when you go to hit the serve, you're going to bring that palm in towards you. That's a lot to think about with the off arm and the off hand, but if you want to refine your serve, you go out on a court and you practice these concepts one by one. Don't try to do all 5 of these today. The next time you go on the court, just pick one of them, perfect it, master it, and then move on to the next tip. This was my lesson on the toss. I hope you enjoyed it and you got a lot of value out of it. Leave a comment or question below. We would love to answer your comments. We'd love to answer your questions in future videos that you want us to make. If you want us to make videos, let us know what they are. We're here for you. We're here to get you to the next level. We want you to share this video if you thought it provided value and give us a thumbs up. Turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel, and Finally, get this free gift. It's a free instructional course. It's inside the Tennis Evolution app. Click the link in the description below or somewhere in this video. You'll get me, the high-performance tennis coach, in your pocket, former top 100 player, eager to help you improve faster and easier with premium content that actually works. We'll see you at the next lesson. Thanks.